Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Vauxhall Vivaro van. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. We got various projects on the go and who knows what's coming in the future. Just the comment section on the first video on this van, amazing. I think it's exceeded one of the most popular videos today in the comment section. I think up to about now there's over 1,300 people all reaching out with their ideas and suggestions. I kind of left myself open a little bit for some people saying, why haven't you got a diagnostic machine? Why haven't you got it plugged in? To be honest guys, when you've got a diagnostic machine in front of you and you're sitting there flicking through it, trying to hold the camera or trying to prop it up and watch what you're doing, it is quite difficult. But I should have included that, of course, that was one of the first things we did. So we're going to crack straight back on with the van today. But first, I'm going to show you the diagnostic machine that we plugged into it first, and then the plan that we've come up with to actually try and read some of the codes out of this vehicle. So this is the one that we had first plugged in. Obviously we tried the two little code readers at first just to see if it showed any codes, and they actually work perfect. But to get the live data, we've plugged this one in. As soon as you plug it into the OBD, it all comes up. It gives you everything static, the live data, but as soon as you go to crank the vehicle, it actually cuts power. It must be to the OBD socket, because we've tried the others and they all work fine. There's obviously some sort of issue, another issue with that OBD socket. So we have come up with a little bit of an idea. Let's move into the workshop and I'll show you what we think we're going to do. I've come in to show you the Crypton machine that we're going to be using. We have got various of these little OBD readers. They're perfect for turning out lights and reading codes, but they don't do live data, so they're out of the question anyway. So this is quite an old Crypton machine. It's OBD and it's also pre-OBD. It's got all the old cards with it and it does look very old, but this has actually got the latest software on it. Chris has plugged it in, it lights up, again with the crank, it goes straight out. So he's actually got with this a power lead. Can you do a bit of a demo on that for us, Chris? I don't think it's turned on.
Yeah. Just auxiliary power feed.
Auxiliary power feed for it there, turned on.
It's mainly if you've got a completely dead vehicle,
you can still read it, yeah. So what we plan on doing is actually running the extension lead out there and running the Crypton machine off of the auxiliary power. We'll still be able to read it through the OBD, and hopefully we can get some live data when we crank it. Yeah. So that's the plan. Let's go and get that plugged in, get the lead run to it and see what we come up with. So just quickly, guys, while Chris is logging on, there was a little bit of confusion in the last video about the stop-start module. Quite a lot of people were saying it must have a button on the dash. Absolutely.
You see it?
I think I can see it, yeah. It's got a stop-start button on the dash, and we was turning that off. We knew that was there, and again, I forgot to mention it. It was the actual component we was more worried about, whether that had a fault. Are you code red?
Yeah.
How many?
28.
Oh.
It's not going to have 28.
No, it's not, no. So that's come up with 28 codes.
Read them out.
Yeah, start reading them out.
Intake air temperature.
Yeah.
Mass or volume airflow circuit.
Yeah.
Injector circuit 3 open.
Yeah, just stop there, Chris. You just basically, guys, a lot of these codes will be related. When you so much stuff on this van's been unplugged by us personally, and God knows who else has been on it and how much they've had unplugged and plugged back in. We've got a full charged proper battery on there that's really good to go. So what we'll probably do is clear them codes, Chris, won't we?
Yeah,
and then try and do a bit of live data. I'll let you clear them. We're going to start going through a few different checks. Chris just said the throttle position sensor he's going to check first, but it already says
it's an 89.8%.
8%, and when you're pushing it, it's not actually doing anything.
But that could be a default cold start.
It could
position.
be, yeah.
But that's normally not there, isn't it?
So we don't actually know if we've got a problem there yet or not. Right.
We want RPM first.
Yeah, we do, yeah. I'll let Chris find it. You found it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Let me hold it for you.
You got it?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So that's all right.
That's crankshaft sensors all right then, isn't it?
I think we'll just continue going through quite a lot of these off camera, but if anything jumps out, we will record it. Is there anything you want to add in there? Any other checks? What's that one?
We'll just crank it and see what that...
Oh, fired up.
Yeah, it was doing that, wasn't it, though? That's as much as it'll do.
Until I put easy start in it.
Yeah, but that indicates that's working, doesn't it?
Intake map.
Manifold absolute pressure.
Right. We've just moved on to mass airflow. So you're gonna try that, Chris?
Nothing.
We haven't got any of the pipes on though, so it's not going to build up pressure, is it? So that's...
Yep. Throttle position we've done.
I hope you can see that screen okay. I got all excited a minute ago there when it fired up. Chris was like, yeah, no, it's been doing that the whole time, Rob. It has been a week, so...
I think what we do...
We'll just check through them
No,
all.
I think we go back to... now we've cleared the codes, we go back and we've cranked it. We go back and see what codes have come back.
Yeah, do another code read on it and go from there.
Yeah.
Right. So Chris has just stopped that and he's gone in and cleared all of the codes on it. We've turned the ignition off, turned it back on, and he said straight away it's coming up, straight back on with 3 codes. What are they, mate?
P0113.
P0113.
Intake air temperature.
Intake air temperature. They should be able to hear you actually, I'm repeating it.
P0102. Mass or volume airflow. This is the same as live data.
Yeah.
P242F. DPF.
DPF. Quite a lot of people's reaching out in the comments about DPF. Is it blocked? Yeah. So we'll just have, we're going to have to take the exhaust off. We'll have a look at that and we're just going to carry on investigating. We're going to be getting involved under that bonnet and we're going through quite a few bits today. So it'd be really, really nice to actually hear it fire up and run and actually find out what it is that's wrong with it. Chris just had a bit of a look there and he's seen straight away there is actually a blank right on the end of that pipe going down to the DPF. So he said what we'll do is we'll actually unbolt that, remove it, and it's a bit of a cheat. Rather than us get right under there and take the DPF off, he said, well, if we take that out, it's not going to build up pressure because it's going to blow like crazy out of there. So that's that bit sorted. Quite a lot of people said about the intercooler. Guys, we know when I was starting it up the other day, we wasn't trying to get it running. You know, when I was starting it on easy start, we just wanted to prove that to ourselves that the engine was running and there was no like major problems with it. No snapped crank, snapped cams, snapped chain, anything like that. It was literally just spraying a bit of ether in there to demonstrate that the engine was a runner, and it actually sounded okay, didn't it? Till I put quite a bit in there, and then it was...
But we had it on when we was trying.
We did have it on, yeah. So we will be putting this back on when we spin it back over and trying to get it today to start on its own steam, because we need it to start on its own steam. We don't want to be having to sniff it up. I'll just turn that time lapse off there, and Chris hadn't fitted that air pipe back on. He's a bit slacking lately, actually. I'm only joking, mate. He's released that bolt out of there, that blank, and you've cranked it back over, and now it's come. I'll just let Chris jump in there. A bit unorganised today, I am. It's me that's slacking. So he cleared all the codes. He's plugged it back in, cranked it over, and now it's only come up with two faults. So we think we're getting somewhere.
2 faults.
Yeah. And what are they?
You know, click on it if you want. Mass or volume airflow circuit. Intake air temperature.
Intake air temperature, so...
Would they stop it running?
I don't think so. Let's get under the bonnet and have a good look through everything. Just make sure everything's tight and clipped home.
Or we'll put the top back on the engine and try it again.
Yeah, we'll give it a go, mate. We've got nothing to lose, have we? Just got the top cover out, because if it does run for any reason, we don't want it to spit oil out everywhere. Before we did get live data, Chris did get the little meter out and check the crankshaft sensor.
That was on Sunday.
On Sunday, actually, he spent a bit of time out here, and that was all right. And now you're checking for resistance.
Well,
we just say it's the camshaft sensor.
He's got one.
So we're going to check that while we're here as well.
Just have nothing.
No, nothing at all.
It's not coming up as a fault, though, is it?
No.
Definitely nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing there. So is that faulty as well?
Would be.
Can we whip that? That's not even something you can clean, is it? That's got the copper coil in it, the same as a crankshaft sensor.
Yeah.
I was just actually sitting there thinking of the next move there. That's why I cut. Chris has put his fingers on there, guys. Look, the bolt ain't even tight. I mean, that's not going to stop it from working, but it's been swapped out, or it's been off this vehicle at some point. No, the reason we're taking that out is because it was right down there low. We just want to stick that on the bench or on the trolley here and just double test it, just in case that he couldn't get right on the pins of it. We have just checked this here for resistance, and we're still getting absolutely nothing. So this is definitely broke. This is not working. I've just got off the phone to the motor factors, and they're going to pop round with one of them as quick as they can. So we're going to get that fitted as well. Hoping, I mean, we know that's definitely toast. We don't want to start throwing loads of new parts on this van. Like we said, that bolt was loose. Has someone rung that over? Have they had it out already, searching for a problem? It was.
You might have swapped it for a second-hand one.
Yeah, that wasn't. It wasn't cheap. It was £28. So, and you can't return it because it's an electrical item. So fingers crossed that is another fault cured. But once that gets here, I'll get Chris to do a demo on it, because the new one obviously should be working fine. The new one's just arrived, and as I said, Chris is going to do a bit of a demo on it. Yeah, I'm pointing at that, mate. That's good.
There you go.
And yeah, perfect. Perfect. So we get that bolted in and move on. Fingers crossed. That's another. Well, that is another thing cured, isn't it? That one's not working.
It'd stop it running though. Do you?
It ain't going to help things, is it? Camshaft sensor. So we get that one fitted and move on to the next job. That's the top cover back on. Like I said, we got that bolt out of there, so that should be all right to release any pressure if it gets any. And we got that new camshaft sensor in there, so Chris is going to go in, just give it another crank, and then obviously we'll do another code read on it and see if any of them are gone, see if any of them are come back. Yeah, whenever you're ready, bud. Nice run. That's never run like that before. Try it again. Yeah, cut that. There's all smoke pouring out that hole. It might be a bit... Yeah, let's get the rest of the... Obviously, that's using as the exhaust now. Because we've got it unbolted, it's not going to bother going through. But if it is blocked, it would all be coming out of there. We get all that pipe back on there, shall we? And then try it again.
Well, that has got a pressure sensor there for the exhaust. So that's probably been cutting it out.
Right.
Cranking it over, I suppose.
Yeah.
Builds the pressure up. I don't know.
Let's get it back together, this pipe, and then just continue going through it. But that is good news. Really good news. We've just put that intake pipe back on. We've left that cap out. Chris just said there's a good chance this valve is actually, it could be related and it's cutting out the diesel because that DPF's blocked up. So what we decided to do is actually, now we've got that back on there, run it for a few seconds and then do another code read on it and see what we've got. So ready when you are, mate. That engine, it's missing a little bit, but sounds lovely. Sorry, bud. Don't rev it up. Yeah. Guys, I know we've got no water on there, and quite a lot of you do always say, you've just run that engine without water. Very temporary, for short periods, it is fine. Chris, that sounds lovely.
Coming up, check anti-pollution system. Look, we didn't have that the other day.
No, we didn't. And the engine
DPF.
Management, that is DPF, isn't it?
That's blocked, isn't it?
Should we turn it off and do another code read on it though? See what it comes up. We know that's up there, but we'll see what the machine brings up.
Yeah, it only had 2 on it, but
Let's
we'll clear them again and try it again. Yeah.
Definitely. You can probably hear the excitement in my voice, and we're both grinning ear to ear. With that out, we haven't got that DPF fault coming up on here anymore. There's no pressure, and I think we've already established it has got a blocked DPF on it, this van, so that's another story. But we have still got one fault, mass or volume airflow circuit. So we are going to low input. So we are going to investigate that, and then once we sort that out, Chris, there's only going to be one more fault, and that is obviously one of the main faults, and that's the DPF. And do you think that's the root cause to all these problems?
It probably is.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
It was pressurised up. And
well,
it's probably got it's probably got a system on it that cuts the fuel out. Because of that, else it'd blow the exhaust to pieces.
Yeah, of course it would. Yeah.
The pressure would just build and build.
Let's have a little scratch around under the bonnet and see if we can find out what that last fault is. Chris just cleared those codes again. We've got no lights on apart from the service light. No fault codes coming up on here, but I went straight to the air mass sensor, and the plug on the back of it is all wobbly. I've just given that a bit of a push and it seems to be running fine. It sounds lovely, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh guys, I'm so made up. It's just come up with something now.
Yeah, engine failure hazard.
Engine failure. We'll do another code read on it. It's had quite a few today already.
Coolant. There's no coolant in it.
Oh, we've got no radiators in it, no cooling fan or anything like that.
We better put that back on.
I reckon this is about, on that note, that's enough for this video, mate. It's quite a nice long one.
Try and get the rad back in it quick.
Don't see why not.
Well, we'll see what that comes.
Yeah, definitely. Just a bit of a cutting, chucked a bit of water in it, put the radiators back in and left it running. It's been running for a few minutes now. I've actually put that blank back in, but when Chris goes to... That's not you. That's doing that on its own now. And what have you got?
But the throttle position is stuck. Look.
That's fly-by-wire pedal, isn't it?
Yeah, that should be
Yeah, I've gone back. No, that's that.
That should go between 0% and 100%, depending on the throttle pedal.
And you were saying on slow revs, that's not doing that. But if you quickly give
at
it
89, that should be revving its nuts off, shouldn't it?
Yeah, if you tap the accelerator now, though, quite on quite high revs. Do that again, Chris. Just to, that's still not moving.
Fixed.
Yeah. Give that a bit more of a rev up again. It does sound good. And also, since Chris has cleared them and done that, the live data is now working through the OBD, and we've actually disconnected the power.
Just the cranking wasn't it? Taking
Yeah,
the
there was the
power.
cranking that was taking the power, but everything seems to be all right now.
Nice
So
airflow.
a little bit more still to investigate, but this time
That's working. We've got intake air temp now. That was coming up as a fault. Engine speed.
guys, we are going to have to leave it there because we need to borrow or buy an accelerator pedal and slowly do a bit in the background and build up a bit more of a picture of the little faults. But to hear that engine now running, and as you can hear, it sounds perfect. And once Chris gets past that initial little low rev on the accelerator and does rev it up, you can hear the turbo revving up. And I've just bent down underneath as well and just put my hand behind the exhaust there to make sure that there's pressure coming out of it, and there is a little bit. Chris, give that a little rev up just again.
You film it?
Yeah, they're quite, you know, when you actually get it to, sounds perfect, that does. Sounds perfect. I was getting ready to wrap this video up so you can thank Chris for the nice long video. He said, no, let's plug it into Sank House and show what it does. So we're in the little 14 reg combo van, and that's the accelerator pedal.
Yep.
And you can see that clearly going up and down as he's going up and down there on the pedal. So we are barking up the tree that it's definitely got a pedal fault. What I will say is we'll start researching, looking for a pedal. Did you want to start that up? It's up to you if you want to give it a try. We will be researching, trying to borrow a pedal or buy a pedal, but if there's any of you guys out there that are breaking one of these vans or know where we can go to grab one, then please do reach out to us and let us know. And that's with it running, so we're all good. Chris was just saying it might possibly not even be that accelerator pedal. It could be something completely different overriding it and causing that problem, but I'm going to try my hardest to actually borrow an accelerator pedal and we go from there. We're going to be checking other stuff, but I think you'd agree we're a lot further on than what we was from the first video, and to hear it running and being completely honest, that wasn't that hard, was it? I mean, we spent a couple of days on it, but to get that van to a point where it was a non-runner and we've now got it running is absolutely brilliant. So
Easier than the Mini.
yeah, definitely easier than the Mini. So that is going to be the end of today's video. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Don't forget, please like, subscribe and share. Check out the merchandise, the link is in the description, and if you haven't already, head on over to Instagram and follow us there, where we put out little sneak peeks so you know what's coming and what we're up to. We'll see you very, very soon in the next one.